not because they taste bad or go against health codes, but because of history, politics, or even just the way they smell. From banned berries to illegal cheese, today's video will make you question everything you thought you knew about what's on your plate. So if you're curious about how delicious can be dangerous, let's dive into the top 10 food products that were secretly banned and why. Number 10. Citrus-flavored sodas. If you're a fan of Mountain Dew, Gatorade, or Fanta, listen up. Many citrus-flavored drinks in the US contain brominated vegetable oil, BVO, a chemical originally developed as a flame retardant. Yes, you heard that right, flame retardant. BVO helps keep flavor oils from separating in drinks, but studies have linked it to memory loss, skin problems, and reproductive issues in large doses. That's why the EU, Japan, and India have all banned it. The FDA still allows limited use, but public pressure is mounting. Several companies, including PepsiCo, have pledged to phase out BVO entirely. Until then, check your labels and maybe think twice before chugging that bright orange sports drink after a workout. Number 9. Kinder Surprise Eggs. What could be more innocent than a chocolate egg with a toy inside? Kinder Surprise Eggs are a childhood favorite in many parts of the world, but not in the US. The FDA bans any food product that contains a non-edible object embedded inside it. Their logic? Choking hazards. And Kinder Eggs, with their hidden plastic toys, fall squarely under that rule. In 2013, a Canadian woman was fined $300 for bringing one across the border. US Customs seizes tens of thousands of them every year. Ferrero, the company behind Kinder, has since created a US-compliant version, Kinder Joy. The toy and candy are packaged separately, but it's not quite the same magic. For the real experience, you'll need to travel, or risk a very expensive egg smuggling fine. Number 8. Foie gras. Foie gras, the velvety liver of a duck or goose, is a delicacy in French cuisine. But behind the luxury is a controversial process, force feeding. To make foie gras, ducks or geese are force-fed massive amounts of food, enlarging their livers to 10 times their normal size. Animal welfare activists call it cruel, and several countries agree. Israel, India, Argentina, and parts of the US have banned foie gras outright. California banned it in 2012, only for the law to be overturned in 2015. But the ethical debate continues. Chefs argue that when done humanely, the process is not as brutal as it sounds. Animal rights groups vehemently disagree. Whether it's cruelty or cuisine, foie gras remains one of the most divisive foods in the world. Number 7. Black currants. Black currants are rich in antioxidants and have a sharp, fruity flavor. So why were they banned in the US for nearly a century? Trees. More specifically, white pine trees. Black currants carry a fungus known as white pine blister rust. In the early 1900s, the US lumber industry feared the fungus would devastate white pine populations. So in 1911, black currants were banned nationwide. The government even went so far as to dig up and destroy blackcurrant bushes across the country. The ban lasted until 1966, but several states still restrict their growth to this day. Because of the ban, most Americans are unfamiliar with the flavor of blackcurrants. That's why grape dominates purple flavored candies and sodas. In Europe, it's blackcurrant all the way. Thankfully, the ban has been mostly lifted, and blackcurrants are making a quiet comeback. Try them if you get the chance. They might just become your new favorite berry. Number 6. Coca leaves. Coca tea is a cultural staple in the Andes, helping locals combat altitude sickness and fatigue. The tea is mild, similar to a strong green tea. But in the US, coca leaves are strictly illegal. Why? Because they contain the base alkaloid for cocaine. To make cocaine, you'd need pounds upon pounds of coca leaves. A cup of tea doesn't come close to being narcotic. Still, US drug policy doesn't make that distinction. Since coca leaves can be processed into cocaine, they fall under the same ban. Ironically, Coca-Cola once used coca leaf extract in its original formula, hence the name. While today's formula is coca-free, the legacy of the leaf lives on in name alone. While many countries in South America legally cultivate coca for traditional uses, possession in the US can lead to serious legal consequences. Number 5. Escolar fish. This fish has a nickname, the X-lax of the sea. Escolar, often misbranded as white tuna, has a luscious, buttery taste that makes sushi lovers swoon. But there's a hidden danger: gempilotoxin. This waxy ester can't be digested by humans. And that buttery flavor? It comes from the fish's 20% fat content, mostly gempilotoxin. Eat too much and you'll be rushing to the bathroom with what some describe as orange, oily diarrhea. Japan, Italy, and other countries have banned escalar due to these, explosive side effects. In the US, it remains legal, but the FDA recommends consuming no more than 6 ounces at a time. Sushi restaurants might not always label escalar correctly, so if your white tuna tastes too good to be true, it might be time to ask a few questions. Number 4, Brazil nuts. Brazil nuts are nutritional powerhouses packed with selenium. But too much selenium? That can lead to hair loss, brittle nails, fatigue, and even organ damage. Doctors recommend limiting yourself to just 5 nuts a day. But in the European Union, Brazil nuts face an even stricter fate. When sold in their shells, they're outright banned. The reason? Aflatoxins. These are toxic compounds produced by mold in humid environments, and Brazil nuts are particularly susceptible during storage and transport. Aflatoxins are classified as carcinogens, linked to liver cancer and other serious health risks. Because of this, the EU chose to ban in-shell imports altogether, reducing the chance of contaminated nuts slipping through the cracks. So if you're in Europe and craving that creamy crunch, you'll have to settle for pre-shelled and heavily tested Brazil nuts. Number 3, tonka beans. Vanilla, almond, cloves, cinnamon, and a hint of mystery. That's the flavor profile of tonka beans. These aromatic seeds from South America are prized in gourmet kitchens, but in the US, they're banned. Why? One word: coumarin. Coumarin is a natural chemical found in tonka beans. In high doses, it can cause liver damage, and the FDA doesn't mess around with liver health. Even though you'd need to eat dozens of tonka beans to feel any effect, the FDA enacted a strict ban. Ironically, cinnamon also contains coumarin. But unlike tonka, cinnamon isn't banned. Many chefs argue the ban is overkill, especially since a single tonka bean can flavor up to 80 dishes. That's like banning salt because someone might eat a pound of it in one sitting. Despite its outlaw status, tonka is revered in high-end European desserts. So if you're lucky enough to dine in Paris or Madrid, keep your taste buds alert for this forbidden bean. Number 2, mustard oil. In India, mustard oil is as essential as olive oil in Italy. It has a fiery aroma and flavor that makes curries sing. But in the US, it comes with a surprising warning label: for external use only. That's because of one particular compound, erucic acid. Erucic acid, found in high quantities in mustard oil, raised red flags in animal studies during the 1990s. It was linked to heart damage in rats, prompting the FDA to ban its sale for human consumption. That said, more recent research has challenged these conclusions, arguing that moderate intake is likely safe. Interestingly, canola oil also contains erucic acid, albeit in lower amounts. And guess what? Canola oil is everywhere in US grocery stores. The double standard has sparked debate among food scientists and chefs alike. If you're adventurous enough to try it, you'll find mustard oil labeled for massage use in Indian grocery stores. Just don't tell the FDA what you're cooking. Number 1, Epoisse cheese. Imagine a cheese so smelly, French trains once banned it from public transport. Enter Epoisse. This gooey delight is a beloved cheese in France, particularly in Burgundy. It's washed repeatedly in a local brandy called Marc de Bourgogne, giving it a rich orange rind and a funky, pungent aroma. But here's the kicker. Epoisse made from raw milk can't be legally imported into the US due to FDA regulations. The FDA has strict pasteurization laws banning cheeses made from raw milk unless they've been aged at least 60 days. Since Epoisse is typically aged less, it doesn't qualify. The concern is listeria and other harmful bacteria. But to many French cheesemakers, the bacteria are the point. They're what create the flavor and texture. Luckily, pasteurized versions are available stateside, but purists claim they just don't compare. For now, American cheese lovers might need a passport to taste the real deal. Which banned food would you be brave enough to try? Let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, Hit that subscribe button and don't forget to ring the bell so you never miss another bite of food history and controversy.